Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who story number 142, Timelash. So, I definitely feel like I drank too much for this story. There's a lot of implied things going on with it that for Doctor Who, for like, what are we, 22, 23 seasons or something, like it's a lot. Like you can actually imply a lot of things with Doctor Who and not even explain them and just be like, yeah, it is what it is. And it's like, wait, what? And just kind of hope that the audience doesn't care. And then there's people like me who get really drunk to watch this to make these reviews and are like, we're already confused and we're like, what's even happening right now? So 2 episodes, the opening scene with just the Doctor screaming, bad, bad, at Perry. I was like, what's happening again? So they go into the time corridor where they have like seat belts. And I was like, okay, this is fun. This is a thing now. And I was like, whatever. And they go to the planet Carfel. Carfel? Whatever. I don't even care. And it's like, okay, so that's where it starts to get weird because evidently the Doctor's been here before. Now, that's nothing new. We've been to a lot of planets where it's like, oh, the Doctor's been here. They know who the Doctor is. Okay, whatever. No big deal. BFD. So, for this one, they get really specific, though. So, at one point, like, one of the aliens, like, she like, opens up her locket, and she's like, who is this woman? And poor Perry, like, I hate Perry. And Perry's like, I've seen her picture. I've never met her. And they're like, who is she? It's Jo Grant. And me being drunk and watching TV, I'm like, I think that's Jo Grant. And so, like, at first, but I guessed it was Jo Grant before they actually said, but I was not even 100% sure. I was like 80% sure. I was like, I think that's Jo. And then, yeah, Perry's like, I think it's Jo Grant. And I was like, okay. And then when they break the wall, and there's a picture of the 3rd Doctor. And I'm like, what's happening? Like, and I had to do a little bit of, I hate doing research. So my whole point of doing these videos and watching it is like, what is this like to just watch it? Because there are so many books out there to explain things. There are so many, like, little trivia things. And some of you comment, and they're like, behind the scenes, the reason these people didn't, like, the scenes are awkward is because the actors hated each other. I'm not looking into any of that. I love it when you guys comment and stuff like that, because I'm not doing any of that research. I'm just like, what is it like to watch this? No fucking sense. That's what it is. And I actually did have to do a little bit. I looked it up because I was like, did they go to this planet and I don't remember? No, this is not from a previous episode. So I don't feel entirely insane. They just made up a planet and made up the 3rd Doctor and Jo went there at some point in their adventures. And I was like, out of 22 years, you could have just picked an actual planet. Just fucking go to, like, Peladon again or something. You could have actually returned to a planet rather than just make something up and be like, you remember when the Doctor was here? Because we don't, because he never was. So, like, that kind of irritated me. I didn't like that. The time delay thing, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me, but I'm obviously not the right person to try to make sense of things. The whole, like, the character who had met the previous Doctor, and he was, like, half, like, dinosaur, and I'm like, realistically, the makeup's not bad. But then when he goes back in time, and he's like, he'll be seen from time to time, and I was like, is that a Loch Ness reference? I'm assuming it's a Loch Ness Monster reference, and we just met the Loch Ness Monster. But even then, it's really awkward and really weird. The whole Herbert thing, Herbert is annoying as fuck. But, hey, big surprise, it's H.G. Wells. So I was like, okay. I hated the fact, like, oh, the TARDIS is going to, like, get in the way of the missile, and they're going to be blown up. well, why didn't we get blown up? Well, that's a funny story. And then he never explains it. And I was like, what's the point? Like, it is the most, like, what is it, Deus Ex Machina? Like, the ghost in the machine? Like, that's not even explain it. Like, it's the whole reason I hate Battlestar Galactica. Why did this happen? God did it. What? That's not an answer. So, like, why didn't we get blown up? Like, they could have easily said, like, oh, well, the missile was weaker than the TARDIS. That's what I'm assuming, but that's all I needed, was that throwaway line. Well, the missile was weaker than the TARDIS. Nope, nothing. That's a funny story. Okay, whatever. I'll explain it later, or something. Like, stupid. So, I don't know. Like, this story really, like, I felt like somebody was just writing and just was like, let's throw in, like, a human version of the Loch Ness Monster. The TARDIS doesn't blow up. Fuck it, H.G. Wells, but we'll call him Herbert. We'll just make shit up. Why don't we go to a planet we've never been to, but say the third Doctor went there? I don't know. Somebody was really high when they wrote this story, and I didn't like it. So, this one was kind of rough. Curious what you guys think. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time for Revelation of the Daleks.